All right, we're going to check out the new Camp Cretaceous trailer that just came out. I'm going to give my thoughts on it here. I haven't seen it yet. I've had the, let's say the cat has gotten out of the bag in regards to one thing in the trailer that's kind of all over the internet right now. You should be able to figure out what I'm talking about just based off that incredibly clever pun. Let me update my video there a little bit. Okay, that's a little bit better sized. Yeah, so other than that, I haven't seen it though. So let's see what we got
Look
here.
at us.
We finally made it off the island. Go us.
Yep, that's Camp Cretaceous.
What is that? This.
I mean, that's a good integration of the Mosa escaping at the beginning of Fallen Kingdom, because we saw those events happen in the other season. So that makes sense, you know, that you got a boat sailing away at the same time that a large seagoing predator is escaping from the same place. That's a good way for them to cause problems with a boat. I like that. That's a good setup.
Doesn't look like Costa Rica. What the heck is this place?
Only one way to find out.
No, it can't be. Where are they taking her?
And here I thought Nublar was the trippiest place I ever seen.
What is that?
A saber-toothed tiger.
Well, there she is.
Something tells me we shouldn't go in there.
Which means we're obviously going in there.
Come on.
Interesting. Okay, well, there's a lot going on there. First off, let's go back to the start here. So we've got some Mandalorian-esque freaking LCD screen technology here projecting a desert environment. So I wonder if the desert's like entirely contained within like a lab complex. That might be what's going on there. Because you also see the external jungle that they like wash up in, right? I guess you don't see jungle here. But you see other shots of them in the jungle. So my expectation is that there's some sort of high-tech lab complex on Sorna that we're seeing here. Which would make sense. It would track with lore arguments about Sorna being abandoned. It's all counterintelligence, right? You say that we moved all the dinosaurs off Sorna, there's nothing there to go look for, so people don't go stumble into some like Mazrani lab or something, playing around with things. Or maybe just like an InGen lab, because you know Hoskins in Jurassic World was doing his own thing kind of under Mazrani's nose. So it might be an entirely secret InGen lab being hidden from the greater Mazrani Corporation or something too. Which might be pretty interesting. And we got a Rex. Now,
One way to find out.
No, it can't.
that Rex, you can't really tell what's going on with it. But here, this shot, this looks like the male. The buck T-Rex. But it looks like it's had its ass kicked a bit. But that could be the facial scar right there that you see in Lost World. If it's the exact same Rex. It also can just be a case of them choosing a similar scar. I don't know if the placement of that scar is accurate to Lost World either. That's just what it makes me think of.
Where are they taking her?
But yeah, you got the kind of grayish green and then the lighter counter shading on the belly. Although she looks like she's had or he looks like he's had his ass kicked. One of the few dinosaurs in the franchise you know is male. Maybe a Spinophyte or something there.
And here I thought Nublar was the trip.
Yeah, and then we got Snow. And these freaking weird-ass robots. Don't like this. Don't like this at all. Don't want no weird-ass robot things going on.
And here I thought
I mean, this doesn't seem then like a hologram room either, in this case, because they actually have, like, snow crawlers out here. This feels more like an actual Arctic environment, whereas the desert stuff all feels simulated, maybe. Like a Smilodon habitat or something.
Nublar was the trippiest place I ever seen.
What is?
Yeah, then the robot dogs, terrible, are out there running around. So maybe they only spend part of the season on Sorna or something. They end up on the mainland in some, like, Arctic facility. Weird. Weird. Don't know how I feel about that. Smilodon looks a little off to me. It's got a little bit of more of a Disney vibe than I'd like, but that might come down to it being a mammal in a Jurassic Park cartoon. It's just gonna kind of feel like some Ice Age shit or whatever. I'm not a big fan of mammals in Jurassic media. I'll take Jurassic World Alive, the Ludia mobile games. They just kind of overran the new creatures they added to the game for quite a while, where it's just like, here's 6 mammals, next update, here's 5 mammals and 1 token dinosaur in your dinosaur game. So I'm always hesitant to see Cenozoics make their way into the franchise in any form. I mean, we've had previous hints at Mammoth anyway, like the Masrani backdoor site and stuff like that, so fine. It's not, it makes sense, right? If you can clone a dinosaur and you can clone a human, you can clone a goddamn Smilodon. Cloning a Smilodon or a mammoth is going to be way easier than cloning a dinosaur. So if you can clone a dinosaur, you've already done the hard part.
A saber-toothed tiger.
Then interesting, Kentrosaurus in a snowy environment. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like seeing dinosaurs in a non-traditional jungle environment. And then there's a lot of dinosaurs that lived in areas that snowed, that got fairly cold at different times in history. So it's nice to see, you know, something kind of going towards that. Seeing a dinosaur living in a snowy environment, not just like dying or freezing into a block of ice. I'm not saying necessarily that Kentrosaurus is an Arctic dinosaur in any sense of the word. I doubt it was. But still. Also, Kentrosaurus, new species. Good freaking choice. Great choice. Adding new species to the canon in a show like this is cool. And I like that they don't just add, here's the new fancy carnivore you've never seen before, over and over again. That's a problem I have with the films, where the longer the film series goes on, the more and more carnivores get introduced versus herbivores. The tables tilt. So it's really nice to see a new herbivore species again, just like the Urano, and particularly to see a new herbivore species that's a Thyreophoran, a Stegosaurid, because they're just underrepresented. Both the Anklos and the Stegos are just underrepresented in the franchise, especially in canon proper. I mean, if you extend out to the novels, then at least we get Yoplo to pair with the movie's Ankies, but nothing with any kind of like even slight hint towards canonicity includes any other Stegosaurids beyond Stego. Like, Jurassic Park the game is like, oh, here's more carnivores. So, you know, Trespasser, here's more carnivores. So I'm really glad to see Kentro. Let me get a better look at the coloration there. And the Rex, too, while they're standing off. Same Rex, definitely, with the damage on it. I wonder if I mean it could also be the baby Rex. They could have the baby Rex grow up and take the role of the Buck Rex, the baby from Lost World, because it's a popular fan theory that the baby dies in Jurassic Park 3, but generally that's not true. That the JP3 Rex is a distinct Rex, different colorization, and while some sources call it a juvenile, in the film it's just an adult Rex. It's the adult bull animatronic used again. Ketro coloration looks pretty cool. I'm fine with that. It's distinct from Stego, which is nice. Plate shape looks pretty interesting. I think it's a little different than how you usually see Kentro presented, but it gives it another distinctive profile versus Stego, so that's nice to see. And the Spino herself. I don't have any particularly strong affinity for the Spinosaurus or Jurassic Park 3, but it is nice to see it addressed at least. The Spino's kind of been brushed under the rug, and there's some other weird amalgam testing discussion involved with that. So it's interesting that it's in the desert environment. Maybe these dinosaurs they run into, if the desert environment is a lab setting on like Sorna, maybe the dinosaurs are all contained in the lab. Maybe that's why the Spino doesn't show up in any real discussion of Jurassic World proper, because it's been covered up.
That's new. Something tells me we shouldn't go in there.
Yeah, because this feels like where they find a lab, right? This feels like Sorna, where they've like washed up on Sorna, and now they're running through the jungle. And then they stumble across this lab complex.
Which means we're obviously going in there.
Come on.
This feels like a scene that comes first in the season, before a lot of what else we see. Look at all the kid suggestions here on my damn channel. Ugh. Terrible. Okay, well that's my thoughts on the trailer, my reaction to it. So we'll stop this video here until next time. Oh, I guess I should say we're gonna do coverage of the series too. I'm gonna react to the episodes, give my thoughts, like live thoughts on what's going on. Probably kind of like what I did here, where I'll pause it so that I'm not missing things while I'm talking about details. So let me know if that format works for you if you're interested in that kind of content in the future. So until then.